Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are to look at graphs. We should first learn the Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane is a two-dimensional plane that is made up of two number lines. The first, you have the horizontal number line, and we labeled it as x-axis. And you have another number line that is perpendicular to your x-axis. We call it the y-axis. So this vertical number line that has the positive direction upwards, we call this y-axis. There is a critical point we need to take notice, that is the intersection between x and y-axis. And it has the coordinate 0, 0. We call the intersection the point of origin. Suppose I have a point here and I am to specify this point. So we are always to start from the origin and we are to move in the horizontal direction or the x direction. In this case, we move towards the right. So 1 unit, 2 units. In a similar way, you are to move the number of units until you reach the point. So let me mark here as x, denoting you are to move x unit in order for you to reach the point. So the first value for this coordinate is x. This x tells you are to move in the horizontal direction for x units. And remember, this is a two-dimensional plane. You are to move both in the horizontal and vertical direction. So after you move horizontally, you are to start moving vertically, either up or down. So in this case, we are to move up. So 1 unit, 1, 2 units, 2. In a similar way, you are to move the number of units and reach points. And I'm going to denote we need to move y units in general for you to reach the point. So the second value for this coordinate is denoted as y. This y tells you are to move y units in the vertical direction in order for you to reach the point. So these two values is separated by a comma and inside a parenthesis. So we denote the coordinates of a point in general as x, y. You should see that the Cartesian plane is divided into 4 regions, but here we don't say regions, but quadrants. So start from the top right corner, that is your quadrant 1, in an anti-clockwise direction. This top left corner is your quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and lastly, quadrant 4. Moving on, so we are to determine the 4 points and we are to plot it on the Cartesian plane. So by looking at our letter A, we have -2, 4. So this -2 tells us we move -2 units towards the x-axis direction. Why we have a -2? Because you are moving towards the negative number along the x-axis. So first, you should look at your origin, right? You are moving towards the negative number. So I'm going to move towards -2. So -1, and here you have -2, right? And then you are to see your second value. You have 4. So that tells us we are to move 4 units up. 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, and 4 units, right? And you have reached this point, and we would like to name this point A as indicated by the question. Moving on, we have 3, 0. So first, we look at the 3, and you are to move 3 units towards the right, because 3 is a positive number. So starting from your origin, move 1 unit, move 2 units, move 3 units, and you are to look at your second value, which is 0. So 0 tells you I'm not moving any units up or down along the y-axis. Put somewhere here. Point that intersects this x-axis is our B. Just using this method, we are to do C. So C is -5, -4. So we are to do the -5 first. So 1 unit, 2 units, right? You are moving towards the left because it's a negative number. 3 units, 4 units, 5 units. So reach somewhere here. And you are to look at this -4. So -4 tells you is the negative direction along the y-axis. So we are to move downwards. So 4 units downwards. So 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, and 4 units. Somewhere here, you should reach your point C. And we have our point D. We have 0, comma, -1. So 0 units along the x-axis direction. So just right at your origin, and you are to move 1 unit, but in minus direction. So you are to move downwards, not upwards, because when you move downwards, you see these negative numbers here. So you are going to move downwards for 1 unit. You reach your point D. Moving on, we are to determine the points A, B, C, D given the information. So let's start with A. So A is somewhere here. We are to move along the x-axis direction first. I'm moving towards the left because A is on the left of this origin. So if you move somewhere to -3, you see these 3 matches. So the first coordinate is -3. And then you are to move along the y-axis direction by how many units? You can see 1 units, 2 units, and 3 units. We moved 3 units down the y-axis because downwards you are moving in the negative direction. So we have another -3. So your coordinate for point A is -3, comma, -3. B. So B, starting from the origin, you move 1 unit towards the negative direction, so -1, and you see that this B lies on the x-axis. It does not move anything along the y-axis, so we place a 0. Indicates no movement along the y-axis, so we have the coordinate for B as -1, comma 0, and we have C somewhere here. So starting from the origin again, you see that this C lies on my y-axis and it does not move any movement along the x-axis or horizontally. So I have my first coordinate as 0 and I'm going to move vertically. So it's downwards. So 3 units downwards, I have -3, 0, comma, -3. And I'm going to find my D. So moving in x-axis direction, 1 units, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. So this is in the positive direction. So 4 units, and you move 2 units downwards. So since you are moving downwards, so -2,